you might be an award finalist and then the potential to play in the league. Is it crazy to kind of see the ride that you've been on with this position and what you're doing?
Yeah, no, it's obviously crazy, and it's every kid's dream to play in the NFL. Every kid's dream to play college football, and if I get that chance, I'm going to give it my best shot, and I believe in myself, and I always will. So if I get that opportunity, I'd be very thankful, and I know I'd go out there and give it my best shot. And thinking back to freshman year of high school, people didn't even think I'd play freshman year of high school. I was just undersized. I wasn't mature, and that didn't come till later, and that's honestly played out that way. Even in college, I showed up. I was realistically, I had one week into the summer workouts when I showed up in 2017. I believe I was like 6'2", 185, and I've put on like 40 pounds since then. And it's something that's like, you look back, you're like, man, that's a lot of weight to put on. And then you're like, wow, well, I've been working out with coach class for so long, and they really do just develop young men or young boys into men, and they do a great job of that. And looking back at everything, obviously it's nothing really seems real at this point, if that makes sense. It's a dream still. Like being able to play football at this level, it's never felt real. It's always been a dream. So being able to live your dream out and something you're passionate about, something I'm extremely blessed to do.
The quarterback has his most memorable plays. The wide receiver has his most memorable plays. What's your most memorable play?
I mean, it's hard to even have most memorable plays. In all honesty, I'm just happy when our team wins. For me, it's I go out there, I do my job. If no one noticed me, I'm happy, because if they didn't notice me, I probably did a good job. So obviously, I made a tackle against Arizona State this year. That was fun. Obviously, I don't get that opportunity every time, but when I do, it's nice to be able to execute that. I think, what was a big one? We played Texas, homecoming, went into overtime. I believe it was 2020. And we went into overtime, and we made a last-second kick. That was Alex was playing, and he made that last-second kick that was huge, sent into overtime. Ended up losing the game, but that's still something I look back and remember. And at the moment, it's like, I honestly didn't even realize. I knew it was to go into overtime, but you don't feel that pressure in all honesty when you've done it that many times, because as a unit, we're all really, really close. But there are plays and there are games. I'd say games more so stand out. Being able to win, obviously, Fiesta Bowl last year was huge. That unit, that team was really special. Every team I've played on is special, but last year, it was a lot of the guys that I grew up with in my class. So guys from 2017 that came in and developed and were playing really good, like Malcolm, obviously Brock, Trey Sterling, tons of guys. So guys that I grew up with and I'm really close with. So those are my class that came in 2017. They're my brothers, and everybody on this team is my brothers, and I love everyone. So that was really fun.
I came in late, so I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
But he mentioned Pee Wee. You pick up football. Then is that how you got into? Is that how you got into this?
Well, I got into football. Obviously, that happened with my parents. My dad played college football. All his brothers played college football. So growing up, I was going to play college. I was going to play football.
Mm-hmm.
That was not really a question. I wanted to, and it was something I was passionate about since I was a little kid. So obviously, when I started playing football, I played all kinds of positions. Everyone does. You play line, running back, everything. So I kind of was floating around, and then I believe it was, I don't know, I was pretty young, but at maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, that was when I really started snapping for the team. And it was just more so like a side. I did it along with other positions. It was just because we didn't have anyone else to do it. And it wasn't something that I planned on pursuing at all. But obviously, I didn't end up really maturing until later. And because of that, I started focusing on it more, because I thought, maybe when I do grow, at least I can be really good at this. And that's my opportunity to get in. Obviously, I don't run a 4.4. I'm fast, but I don't run a 4.4. I wasn't going to be, a receiver. I wasn't going to be a cornerback. So reality kind of set in a little bit, and I decided to focus on that. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I take seriously every day. That's never something I've been able to. I've always just been passionate about it. So once I decided that's what I thought I would do, I dedicated everything to it. and I'm lucky and fortunate enough to be here today.
Did your dad help you realize that too, being a college football player? Did he kind of help you realize that?
So he really was just, I mean, he just wanted to watch me play football. He wasn't forcing me to play college football. He wasn't saying you have to play college football or anything. He's a really supportive. I'm really lucky to have a good father. He raised me the right way, coached me most of my life. In all honesty, he coached me from Pee Wee all the way through high school. He was our D coordinator in high school, and I was lucky enough to have him there. But it is also weird because my dad's a D coordinator. I'm the long snapper, so it's kind of weird. I mean, it was nice because he's very good at removing himself. So he wasn't, didn't show any favoritism, which I respect. I don't want that. I wouldn't have wanted to play if I wasn't the best guy. So that was nice to be able to have him there and have him by my side the whole time. And once my senior year kind of came around in high school, started getting more serious. Like obviously, it was kind of crunch time. I didn't have any offers by the end of my season, so I went to a Rubio camp in Vegas, and after that camp, I got a call from San Jose State, and then, after that, more offers kind of started rolling in, and specialists is weird. I spent years emailing special teams coaches, reaching out, trying to get their attention. Go to camps, stuff doesn't pan out. Because specials are kind of the last thing on a coach's mind. In all honesty, I mean, that would be the last thing on my mind too. But you get everything else, and then you're like, okay, let's look for some specialists. I ended up getting reached out by Oklahoma State. I believe it was February, January or February. Came on a visit. They offered me a preferred walk-on, and obviously, I personally wanted to go and live and go to college in the Midwest, but came down here and I love the campus, love the people, and ended up deciding to come here.
What's the difference in an average long snapper and a good long snapper? You mentioned you want nobody to notice you. So what is the difference?
You don't want anybody to notice you, but I think the biggest difference between a good and average long snapper is just being consistent. At this level, there are guys that can throw the ball, really fast or really hard, or they're athletic downfield. There's not a lot of guys that can do all that and be consistent. And it's something that you have to work on. It's something that mentally you have to be strong, because you can't be going out there worried. You can't be thinking about other things. You can't be thinking, do I need to move my foot this way or that way? I feel uncomfortable freaking out on the field. You need to have that strong mentality and be able to go out there and execute every time. So, yeah.
How does it